Hi, this is Mrs. Allen, and in this video we're going to be looking at equations of lines. Example 1. Slope and y-intercept. Write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line with a slope of 5 and a y-intercept of -9. First thing I want to do is write down the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. M stands for the slope and b stands for the y-intercept. Since both are given in this problem, all we need to do is simply fill it in. Our slope, which is m, is 5, so I'm going to replace the m with 5, and my y-intercept, which is my b, is -9. So I could rewrite my equation as y equals 5x minus 9. Example 2, slope and a point. Write an equation in point-slope form of the line whose slope is -2 that contains the coordinate 4, 10. So to do this, I first need to write what the point-slope form is. The point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then I'm just going to fill in the information that they give me. They give me my m, which is my slope, is -2. And then it tells me that a coordinate 4, 10, so my first point 4 would be my x1, so I would have x minus 4. And then my 10 is going to be my y1, so I'd have y minus 10. So since it wants it in point slope form, I'm just going to leave it just like this. I'm just going to rewrite it here. Y minus 10 equals -2 times the quantity x minus 4. Example 3, 2 points. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line L. So here we've got 2 points forming a line, and we want to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. So to do that, the first thing we need to do is find the slope of the line. So I'm going to use my slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to designate my q as my x1, y1, and my p as my x2, y2. So I could fill in, for my y, I would have 4 minus 1 for my y2 minus y1. And then I would have 5 minus a -4. So I could reduce 4 minus 1 is 3. And 5 minus a -4 is really 5 plus 4, which is 9, which would reduce to 1/3. So my slope of this line is going to be 1/3. Okay, I could also form a right triangle with the two coordinates and use the rise over run method. It rises 3 and runs 9, and it's going right and up, so that would be positive, so we'd have a positive slope here, and then I could reduce 3 over 9 to 1/3 also. Now I would use the point slope form with either point to write this equation. So I'm going to do it with both points just to show you that it doesn't matter which point you pick, you're going to get the same equation either way. So I'm first going to write down my point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. And then I'm going to plug in my m, my x1, and my y1. So I'm going to start by using my slope is 1/3. And I'm going to use the coordinate q. So my x1 would be -4 and my y1 would be 1. And now I'm just going to rewrite this to y minus 1 equals 1/3 times the quantity x plus 4. Since we had a minus a negative, would change to a positive 4. And now I can distribute the 1/3 to the x and the 4. And I have y minus 1 equals 1/3 x plus 4/3. And I could add 1 to both sides, and I could make that an improper fraction and have y equals 1/3 x plus 7/3. So now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use point P and just see if I get the same equation. So the first thing, I'm going to plug in my slope. My slope is still 1/3. And now I'm going to use point P. So my x1 is going to be 5, and my y1 is going to be 4. And I want to distribute the 1/3 to both terms, so I would have y minus 4 equals 1/3 x minus 5/3. Now I can add 4 to both sides, and I get y equals 1/3 x plus 2 1/3. and I can change that to an improper fraction, and I would have y equals 1/3 x plus 7/3. So that was the same thing that I got before, so it doesn't matter what point you pick on the line, you're still going to get the same equation for that line. Example 4, 1 point in an equation. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for a line containing the coordinate 3, 2 that is perpendicular to the line y equals x minus 1. So I'm going to have to first plug this into point slope and then reduce it down to get it to look like the slope-intercept form. So my point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So the things I'm going to be filling in is my m, which is my slope, my x1, and my y1, which is the coordinates of the point that is given. Okay, so looking at the line that they gave us, the slope is 1. There's nothing in front of the x, so that means the slope is 1. And I need the perpendicular slope. The perpendicular slope to 1 is -1. So I'm going to use -1 for my m. And now I'm going to plug in the points that they gave me, my x1 and my y1. So I have 3 is my x1, 2 is my y1. I'm just going to distribute the -1 to both terms. So I would have y minus 2 equals -1 times x is -x. -1 times -3 is a positive 3. I can add 2 to both sides, and I get y equals -x plus 5. And this would be my equation of a line perpendicular to the line given and going through the point given. Example 5. Write linear equations. This one is about cell phone cost. Peter's current cell phone plan charges $15.99 per month with 12 cents per minute of airtime. Write an equation to represent the total monthly cost C for T minutes of airtime. So if I think about my equation for slope-intercept form, we have y equals mx plus b. So I need to change my y to represent the cost C and my x to the letter T to represent the minutes of time. So I would have C equals m times T plus b. Now, my m is my slope and my b is my y-intercept. So I need to look at my problem and figure out which number is my m and which number is my b. So my slope is going to be the 12 cents per minute of airtime, because every minute that you are talking on the phone, you're going to be charged 12 cents. So we would times our 12 cents by the amount of time we are on the phone. Our slope-intercept is how much it's going to cost him per month no matter how many minutes he uses. So my slope-intercept is going to be $15.99. Now, compare his current plan to the plan represented by the equation. Cost is going to equal 7 cents per minute plus $19.95. If he uses an average of 40 minutes of airtime each month, which plan offers the better rate? So the first thing I'm going to do is look at the current plan that we just solved for. We made an equation. C equals 0.12 times T plus $15.99. So he's going to be using 40 minutes of airtime, so I'm going to plug in my 40 for my T, and then I'm going to multiply and add, and I get this plan is going to cost him $20.79 per month. So now let's look at plan B. Is C equals 0.07 times T plus $19.95. And if I plug in 40 for my time, I'm going to multiply and then add, and this plan is going to cost $22.75 per month. So he wants to stick with his current plan and not go with a new plan. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you better understand equations of lines.